Welcome to Unit 5, Week 5. This unit focuses on ethics. While we will primarily focus on what have been commonly known as cyber ethics in this unit, we will also engage in a foundational ethics discussion which will inform further discussions in the next unit. The group discussion questions are intended to provoke you to think about the integral and pervasive role technology plays within your respective organizations, about the unique ethical challenges inherent in that role, about what factors may drive the organization to change or reevaluate its attitude toward technology and its effects, and to allow you to compare your organization's ethos to others. Sometimes it feels like our society is increasingly segmented. It may seem as though there is danger everywhere and that no one believes in anything anymore. The business world is often a reflection of the strengths, fears, and ethics of society in general. The reality is that technology in general, and the internet in particular, are allowing us to have access to parts of the world that previously were either difficult or impossible to access. We now regularly buy things from China and have video conference calls with Australia or Belgium at a fraction of the costs of just a few years ago. The ethical and legal issues raised by these changes in technology have not necessarily kept pace with the technological changes themselves. In fact, the document which drives the business world's thinking about information ethics, the assigned article by Mason, was written in 1986. While Mason had the future in mind in his writing, in 1986, almost all websites were merely displaying static information, and the cutting-edge technology for most people was email. Since then, we have various flavors of e-commerce and e-government, smartphones, the Internet of Things, and big data. Your business is digitally connected to the world in ways you could not have imagined in 1986. In fact, I would be willing to bet that if you disconnected your business from the Internet, let alone removed your entire digital footprint, your business would collapse. So if technology is that integral to your business, what sort of attention are you giving to it and the ethical challenges it brings? I think at this point in our ethics discussion, we should define our terms. Obviously, legality is something we all understand. If there is a law with jurisdiction over our business, our stakeholders, ownership, management, employees, consumers, the community, etc., will hold us accountable for meeting the requirements of that law or require us to accept whatever sanctions may be associated with its violation. But what guides our actions when the law is mute? We generally fall back on two other guides: morality and ethics. It is important to note that while the terms are often used interchangeably, they are unique constructs. Morality is a personal framework to determine right and wrong. Morality is intrinsic, informed by your life experiences and unique to you. Most of us share some common general moral drivers. Killing another human is wrong. But the dividing lines of moral code are specific to you. Is killing another human in self-defense right or wrong? Is killing another human in the name of your country right or wrong? Is killing another human in the name of your religion right or wrong? We can only answer these questions morally for ourselves. In the business world, it is not a place where we can make these judgments in a vacuum, where one person's judgment of right and wrong can assume to be agreed upon by all stakeholders. Instead, we ask others to act on our behalf, and we need to trust the actions taken by others will be right within a certain set of parameters. Ethics are an extrinsic algorithm of rules and suppositions which can be universally applied to all situations to arrive at a right answer. Some ethics guides are short and broadly applied. Think of the common truncation of the admonition of the Hippocratic school in medicine. Practice two things in your dealing with disease: either help or do not harm the patient. Others are more robust or specific, such as Mason's Guide for Information Ethics. But they all share these three features with laws. Number one, they all apply a framework for deciding right and wrong regardless of the personal feelings of the decision maker. Number two, as extrinsic structures, their violation can be sanctioned by the establishing body. 3. They are either explicitly or tacitly agreed to by all participants. So if laws and ethics are so similar, why do we need two different structures? The key to that answer is the construction of the body of the governed and the governing. The laws of the United States and another country may be similar, but not identical, whereas an organization or its stakeholders may span countries. When you buy something online from China, whose laws govern the use of the information gathered during that transaction? Legally, we're in an undefined position. Ethics allow entities to regulate behavior without the need for a legal construct. Since the internet created a true, single, worldwide, universal market, not just for goods and services in the traditional sense, but ideas and information as well, it is critical that a clear and defined cyber ethics position not only be taken by your organization, but that we as an international business community work together to establish structures which are extra-legal and accepted across organizational or legal boundaries. So, since our baseline was created by Mason in 1986, I ask you, what do we need to change? Do we need to change anything? Or has the world been turned on its head since then and we need to start afresh? How is your organization applying these rules? What are the costs to your organization if you're too far ahead or behind in applying these rules? You may have noticed I have not referenced the other readings for this week other than the Mason article. That's because they are abridged readings to discussions for next week. While I think that they could inform your discussions this week, and probably will, in many ways they apply more directly to next week. I just didn't want to overwhelm you with readings next week. So I look forward to hearing your thoughts on the Mason article and where it may take us in the future. And let's continue the good work this week, week 5.